Hey YouTube, it's your fragrant friend Jay, and today I'm gonna talk about Kayali 23, the invite only. I haven't smelled that fragrance yet, and it sounds like something I would definitely like, but until I get my hands on it, I was thinking about fragrances in my collection that I have that fit the scent profile, or at least give the same vibe of what it seems the Kayali 23 is giving. I've watched a few reviews on it, and it seems like the most prominent notes that people are talking about are definitely the cherry, the honey, the tobacco, a little bit of cinnamon, spices, and the woodiness of it. I don't hear a lot about any of the other notes that are listed, and so I decided to go ahead and go in my closet, and until I smell it, I was thinking maybe I'm not in a rush to get it because I feel like I have a lot of amber fragrances that fit the bill for that note profile. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, fragrances that kind of would satisfy my craving until I smell that fragrance and until I decide that it's something that I want to add to my collection. So let's start with an oldie. This one was pretty popular a while back, but this is from Zara, and this is Rich, Warm, and Addictive. And this scent profile, it's so sweet. There's tobacco, there's vanilla. It's said to have coconut in it, but I don't smell too much coconut, maybe faintly, but definitely tobacco, vanilla, and it is sweet, sweet, sweet. And I don't get a cherryness in here. There's no cherry, so, but this definitely gives a warm, sweet vanilla vibe, tobacco, sweet vibe. And I was also thinking before I move on, like if one of these didn't fit, if I wanted to mix things, since I definitely have, the next one would be Fragrenza, Amareena Cherry. This is supposed to be a dupe for Tom Ford Lost Cherry. And this one, I have a sample of the Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This is pretty spot on. It may be a little bit sweeter, but it's definitely that cherry, that almond. There's really no booziness, cherry, almond, vanilla in here. So I was thinking maybe if I were to mix these and add maybe a little bit of woodiness on the bottom, I could come up to something close to that fragrance. That's just a guess, like I said, because I haven't smelled it yet. But if I wanted just a nice cherry vibe, or to mix it to get that vibe of what the Invite 23 would smell like, I think this would be a good option too. Next I have Donna Karen, and this is Liquid Cashmere Black. This one definitely has a cherry note at the top. There is, I forgot what this is. Oh no. Sorry, this is, okay, yeah. This is cherry, this is praline, patchouli, and there's musk in here. So, and this one I feel like would give a similar vibe too. And if you wanted a more woody base, you could find something with a little more wood to make it more comparable. This isn't very ambery though. No, and I've heard the cherry be described as medicinal, and that it's a little bit cough syrupy in the top, but it's pretty sweet when it dries down too. The next one I have, I'm going to talk about is Tom Ford, and this is Noir pour Femme. And this is pretty vanilla sweet. It has some soft spices in here too. People describe this as a cheesecake. I don't know if I get that so much. There's some sandalwood, there's some amber in here, but definitely some vanilla. I don't know if I smell cheesecake though, but I feel like this might give the same vibe as the Kayali 23. Another one that I have is Tonka Imperial by Guerlain. This one gives an ambery vibe. I feel like there is amber, but there's tonka in here, but there's also amber in here. There is rosemary, there's pine, there's some vanilla in here as well. And I feel like this mixed with maybe the cherry or something a little bit sweeter, because this is sweet, but it's not as sweet as the other ones that I've mentioned, so it might need some added sweetness to make it more comparable. But I feel like, again, it would give the same vibe. This next one is Oajan by Perfumes de Marly. This one is cinnamon roll for sure. Very, very sweet, a lot of cinnamon, a lot of vanilla. And if you didn't tell me anything else was in here, that's what I would think that this fragrance is. I mean, there might be some musk and a tad bit of a cologne feel toward the very, very end maybe, but it doesn't take away from the vanilla and the cinnamon. This is definitely a soft, sweet, spicy fragrance. And again, mixed with maybe the Fragrenza, the cherry, you might get a good vibe. And maybe Tonka Imperial. The next one, and I don't know if you can get this fragrance anymore. It's called Botra Teas by Ginestat. This is honey. This is the most realistic honey that I've smelled. When I looked at the notes, it has grapes, honey. There are some white florals and cinnamon in here as well. But all I get really after the first spray and after it dies down is honey. So maybe this would be a good addition to some of the others that I mentioned too if you needed more honey sweetness, because I know the 23 has some honey in it too. And I don't know how prominent it is, so I don't know. But it's very, very sweet. Very realistic honey. That's the most I could say out of this one. Very realistic honey. The next one I have is Grand Soir by MFK Maison Francis Kurkdjian. It's by Francis Kurkdjian. And this one is amber and vanilla. And it dries down to a smooth, it's very, very, very smooth. So I feel like this would give the same vibe. Again, if you wanted to mix some cherry, mix some honey, mix a little bit of a fragrance that was a little bit sweeter. This is still sweet, but maybe to get the same fragrance, you might want to mix, like I said, the cherry, maybe a little more vanilla. But this one is a smooth one, and it's amber, so I think that gets the main point of it. The next one is Tom Ford Vanille Fatale. This one is probably the most woody out of the whole bunch. It has some suede in it, and it's vanilla, some spices, and I think there might be a little bit of wood in here too. Oh no, it's the rum and it's the myrrh. Sorry for looking over, I have a few notes. But I think that's what gives it it is kind of resinous and woody. So the suede, the myrrh, and the rum, because the rum is aged in barrels, so it always has a woodiness to it. So this would probably mix good with the other ones too, if you wanted to get that vibe, or just to get that vibe, wear it on its own. I feel like this is a good one. The next one is Van Cleef Arpels. This is Bois Dore. Oh, these are hard with the white. There we go. Mostly this has minerals at the top, but it's vanilla and almond, and it's pretty, those minerals, it stays kind of screechy at the top a little bit. It stays throughout, but definitely gets warmed up with the vanilla and the almond. It's pretty, I feel mixed, like I said, I'm gonna say mixed with everything else here or something else here, you might be able to get the same vibe, but I feel like it gives that warm, spicy, vanillic, ambery vibe. I feel like that comes with this too. And the last one I'll talk about is Perfumes de Marly, and this is Herod. I don't know if you can see. Now, this one I get straight cherry tobacco and vanilla. That's what I get out of this fragrance. That's pretty, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's not complicated at all on the skin. So you might want to add a little woodiness to it, maybe the Vanille Fatale and the cherry fragrance. But this is pretty strong. Like I said, just straight cherry tobacco and vanilla. So until I get my hands on that Invite Only 23, I think I'll be satisfied with using these fragrances or a combination of these fragrances. You guys tell me if you have any of these and what you get, what you think you have in your collection. If you've smelled the 23 that might be comparable to it, so I'm curious to know. I think it's about to storm out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate you, those of you who have subscribed, and I hope you guys have a good day. From your fragrant friend Jay. Bye bye.